What is up, YouTube? It is Onion Bomb here. Welcome back to more of the Entropy Honkai Impact third visual novel. Guys, I'm sorry. I know this has not been as consistently uploaded as it probably should be and as I wanted it to be. But we're back. I know this is kind of like long. I think this is a little longer than I even thought it would be. I didn't really expect it to be like, it's just like on the web. I didn't expect it to be long, but I think it is longer. But yeah, hey, no stranger to be in it for the long haul when it comes to this Honkai stuff. Yeah, I look forward to continuing this. I do plan on finishing it, and afterwards check out some more like manga-esque stuff for Honkai Impact as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. At least get a chapter. This may be a little bit more. We'll have to see how things go. So let's get back to it. It's really good. It's really good, like saving it as well. It says, "Would you like to continue where you left off?" I was like, yeah, and they put me where I left off. So yeah, compared to the tiny and orderly ground floor, the private space on the top floor is quite simply hell on Earth. A few minutes ago, Walt would never have predicted that he would find these items outside a girl's bedroom. Pizza boxes piled together like Jenga. Waste paper piled into bins and forming trash heaps of the size of small mountains. Bras, undergarments, and stockings hang drying everywhere. I see those to the right there. Yeah, mysterious electronic devices discarded and tossed against a corner, their surfaces covered with dust. Waste paper. That toilet paper, or is that like... I searched up waste paper. It just looks like paper. That's trash. Like any paper. I thought, you know, waste paper would be like a fancy word for, like, you know, toilet paper, like paper for waste. You know, I didn't know if that was like terminology or not, but I guess it's just like discarded paper, so anything can be waste. So okay, I was gonna say if we just had toilet paper in the hallway, that's like, ooh, so I'd get out of here. Well, if it was used, like, it's hard to imagine how, but perhaps because the cleaners won't come upstairs, everything has now turned into this hair-raising spectacle. Now, if there is the tiniest, most remote possibility that this scene is actually typical for private residences of countless single ladies everywhere, God knows how many gentlemen will be left shell-shocked and heartbroken. At least right now, Walt is searching for room 203 with a heavy heart. Knock knock. Click. Somewhat surprisingly, the door opened rather quickly. No! That was the sound of a door locking! Oh. Dr. Tesla, I do not come upstairs willingly. Huh? Are you trying to say you're sleepwalking, Assistant Welt? From the other side of the door transmits a grumpy, energetic voice. No doubt it's the real deal. None other than Tesla herself. No, I'm not. I mean, it was Dr. Einstein who asked me to come and wake you up. I wasn't asleep. Okay then. Anyway, we're going to take the next flight to America. Oh yeah, I knew they were going somewhere. I forgot they're going to America. My turf, USA. Wait. To where? To America. Now? Yes. America, as in the United States of America? Correct. Western USA, Montana. Have you gone mad? I don't understand the situation either. It was just that the short sleeves, no glasses, the fin showed her a strange letter, then immediately became all serious about it. What the heck? The letter said something about finding some ancient pastimes. And some words I didn't recognize. Ah, that's right. The sender's name was someone called what was it? It's Schrodinger. Yeah, Schrodinger. It was from Schrodinger. Plank that old hag, once again using her own students to pick up fresh meat. Huh? You don't need to know. Clearly she's mine. Clearly so is Lab 42. Clearly the topic is beginning to sound a bit too dangerous. So Walt, standing outside the door, can only cover his ears and keep it mute as a mouse, but the dreadful ringing and clattering of her shrill voice continues insensibly piercing through the door into her eardrums. All right. What was that? Was that Walt? Clatter, scatter. The poor young man had fallen onto a pile of pizza boxes and is now sprawled out on his back, eyes glazed and mouth agape. What? I didn't think we moved. I guess he tripped. The door had swung open without. Oh, the door swung open without warning, starting Walt, who unfortunately backpedaled onto pizza boxes and without much force slipped and fell. But that is not the most important thing. You pest. Did you fall and give your brain damage as well? Move aside. Dr. Tesla, it's not summer outside. Huh? What are you talking about? I mean that you what? You stuttering fool? Move! You're wearing only a nightgown right now, aren't you? And with a muffled sound, Welt comes crashing down instantly, transforming into a sea of white. Bruh. Ow. Welt is seated in the front row of a temporary borrowed Volkswagen Beetle alongside the driver. The fin with the gold-rimmed glasses, Walt lightly touches his head. Sure enough, it's now a sports bump. Dang, did she bang? Like, was she happy, or was she mad that we brought it up, or was she mad that she forgot, like, you know, I had that anime trope, like she got embarrassed and then it's like somehow Welt's fault. But having said that, my life is still intact. Perhaps that alone is worth a 3-day holiday. But she's a little dressed up now, so perhaps that was she did not she forgot what she was wearing. I guess, I don't know. Squinting at the back seat, though, through the rear view mirror, Walt spies the source of his suffering, using her compact mirror to calmly draw on her lipstick. Are we, shotgun already been knocked out? Hey. Walt can't understand how such a person is capable of tossing her own living space into a complete shambles. It's even messier than Einstein's hairdo next to her. And in a hurry, she almost forgot to change her clothes before they departed. But perhaps more difficult to understand is this. Where did she find that light billowing shawl and find one piece dress? Not a single wrinkle on it. Anyone who had seen those Jenga stacks of pizza boxes would be certain that this girl must have a four-dimensional wardrobe. No, it should be the other way around. Whoever's seen this lovely girl before me would never believe that she in fact lives in a pigsty, right? The young woman in question, who now appears rather neat and fresh on the surface, begins to put away her mirror. Walt hurriedly averts her gaze. Speaking of this, what's the Bev Einstein? Orange something. On the corner of his eyes, notices the corners of Finn's mouth curl briefly into a sly smile. Stick to driving the car. Hey. Just as Walt was beginning to feel miserable, Einstein hands him a document wallet from the back seat. Is this for me? Walt takes the paper wallet. Inside there appears to be several small hardbound booklets. Open it and have a look. Excuse me. You'll need them later. Oh. One of the booklets is a passport. The wallet also contains a work permit of the Imperial Institute and some documents to guarantee movement through immigration. Welt to Joyce. Printed on the passport is one such name, half familiar, half foreign. Joyce is a surname taken from an author. So they gave him his full name now, Walt Joyce. At first I missed the last time, I guess the first time. I was kind of confused. I thought this was like like Walt Yang, like the way this said like the first Welt. But now so that would have been revealed like right now. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't even caught it. Like, maybe, oh, wait a minute. But yeah, there's Welt Joyce. Do you know Ulysses? Ulysses is a novel written by Irish modernist writer James Joyce in 1922. The novel chronicles the day life of the protagonist, distressed Dubliner, a salesman by the name of Leopold Bloom in Dublin during the day and night of June 16th, 1904. Ulysses is a masterpiece of the stream of consciousness genre and is hailed as one of the top 100 English novels of the 20th century. Each year, June 16th is commemorated as Bloom Day. Well, that's the first time hearing about that. June 16th, that's like in a month. And I don't know if I've heard of that book. Ulysses, you mean the Latin name for Odysseus? No. Well, I shouldn't have expected you to know that. Just pretend I never asked. I knew the name you literally, I think I'm saying it right. But I didn't. I'm kind of in the same boat as Walt here. Really getting the character. I didn't know about the book, I don't think. I'm not a big reader. I know I'm not a big reader. Other than Diary of a Wimpy Kid and the Bible and anything like back in high school days, anything that was required for like the class. So I see Romeo and Juliet, I guess, at one point. The Outsiders, that was a pretty good book. I like The Outsiders. I think I read that in my 8th grade. I believe Of Mice and Men. Was that the one with like the guy who like had to be like put down? Like just look at the flowers. I don't mean to like spoil. Oh, The Great Gatsby, I think, was another one. I don't think I liked that one too much. Not that I didn't like it, but I don't really remember it. My biggest memory of it is watching the movie. And missed the meme image during the watch, because like the teacher like fast forwarded it to like the point that she thought we were at, but it was too like she fast forwarded too much and we missed the the most important part of the movie, the one part I wanted to see. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but all in all, I'm not the biggest reader. That's my point. Anyway, make sure you remember the name she gave you and avoid giving yourself away in front of customs. Giving myself away? Wait, is this documentation forged? After all, the name Walt is just made up by Einstein not that long ago. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Just pretend it's an official certificate issued by a civilian without explicit permission. What kind of justification is that? That's like a fancy way of saying a little bit forged. Look, it's something we can't reveal. But if you start acting all weird, our righteous friends of justice from Scotland Yard will start investigating and asking difficult questions. And I do not particularly welcome that idea. That yawn came out now, so isn't Scotland Yard a criminal police organization and not the home office? Gosh, how could an amnesiac like you remember something as obscure as that? Who planted such ideas in your head? I just mean the police, okay? Any police. Relax. Just remember your name and you'll be fine. What is it again? Is it that? The Jolt voice? What now? None of your damn business. Hey Finn, what did you do with your son? Oh. Son? For a brief moment, Walt was unable to perish the exact meaning of this word in his brain. It's fine. I've already called his school. Okay, so I didn't know where that was. I thought like that was like a crazy question. Like it's like gave up for adoption or something. I don't know why my mind immediately went like crazy. But so he has a son though. Who is the mother? It's not. It's not. What's her name? Tesla, because I wouldn't say. I would think she would have said our son. And plus, jeez, I'm sorry. I forget how old these people are. Sometimes I think they're only in high school, and I think he's a little old. That's maybe a little bit more problems than than that. I just, they're older in like the actual Honkai Impact 3rd, I believe. So that's where I got like a lot of the lore stuff. So, I never mind. Just not the first time. Jokin has been put in such a situation. It'll be okay. That name seems familiar. Like there's just a slight bell being rung. I can't picture him. I feel like there was that name has been said before in like a lore video. Jokin seems like the name of Finn's son. Seems like that's the name of the Finn's son. Wait, son. So in other words, Mr. Goldrim Glasses here, he has a son who's already attending school? What are you doing blanking out again, you blockhead? Hurry up and memorize your name. How hard is it to memorize a name? With a karate chop, Twin Tails strikes well at the exact spot where the lump is growing. Most certainly a deliberate and targeted maneuver. Ow! How could you be sure I wasn't busy doing that just now? Idiot. You're obviously envious of Finn the family man, right? Miss Yang? Huh. Henrietta Yang, a young and promising archaeologist, a beauty of mixed German-Chinese heritage. She's the Finn's wife. Interesting. So her last name is Yang. Is there something with that when we get to Welt Yang eventually? Because I just refer him as the Finn, because he is the Finn. However, she is also a very busy lady who can only be at home for around 10 days a year. Oof. How about you also try raising a child by yourself? Oh. Ha 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 ha. Actually, everything's gone much better after he started going to school. Anyway, my wife's work is valuable and deserving of our support. Whatever, your top priority now is to memorize your name and your surname, every single letter. Don't you dare think about anything else. There will be plenty of time to do that on the plane. Twin Tails grips the back of Walt's collar and fiercely exhorts him with those menacing words before purposely turning towards the more fair girl seated next to him. But that said, it's still that hard to get anyone to do anything with me? Even if it's in such a boring place as an airplane, sorry. What now? Last time you didn't play with me and instead read a book all by yourself, as if your time is simply too precious to keep me company. Mophead stares expressionlessly into Twin Tails' eyes. Anyone bring cards? Let's play some solitaire. This time we're sharing a double room. Wow! Really? No single rooms this time? Haha, that's fantastic. I love you, Lizerol. Love you to death. But only if you promise to dress properly after drinking alcohol and taking your bath. Not maybe she don't have to drink. Maybe I was wrong. Wait, she's like 20. Is she 20? No, Einstein's 17, I think they said last time. I think she's like 22, I think. Did they? I don't know. But regardless, they revealed the mother already, so it doesn't even matter. I'm getting confused. Dot 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 dot. Such a tease. How could that possibly be true? Ha 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 ha. What? Wait, so what I saw before was really... What? Oh, we got hit again. Before the poor young man in front of the seat could react, he was already clutching his head, groaning. But we're gonna have a concussion and falling back into his seat. Well, shut your trap. Bro barely even said anything. Up. First leg from London to New York. From New York, okay. Hey, we're getting pretty close to me, IRL. Kinda, sorta. New York, I'm in Pennsylvania, it's like a state away. So Honkai characters, very close to my domain. Also, fun fact. At this moment in life, I hopefully maybe this will change at some point. I do want to maybe do some traveling in life, but I've done like traveling, but I've never flown before. I've never been in an airplane before, so this is my first time in Honkai. I'm kidding. 8 hours. Then transfer to a flight to Chicago. 2 hours. Then the final leg to Billings. Another 2 hours. This does not include time spent waiting to board or change flights, which will be considerable despite the fact they are VRPs. I have heard some horror stories about lost luggage, flights being delayed, flights being canceled. Like, there has been some. I have heard some things about traveling in via plane. It cannot be ideal sometimes, but sometimes you can't help it. With the exception of such a long journey, the roar of the jet engine is even more sleep-inducing than usual. Especially when the scenery outside the window is an endless monotony of vast ocean. So even when Walt is awoken by an urge to pass urine, an interesting way to say he has to pee. I can't talk right now. I'm making piss. For a while, he hesitates to leave his seat. He lifts the right arm of the lightly snoring twin tails that had been draped across his body, and he helps the fin on the other side of the aisle pick up his glasses that had fallen to the floor. Only after stepping into the aisle does Walt notice that among the travelers sleeping left and right, Einstein is still awake, sitting by a window and reading a book in the light. It seems that everyone now and then she is also jotting or scribbling something into her notebook. Going to the restroom for a while. Understood. Oh, big thing just for understood. Really understood. Like, I know you have to pee. We saw you drinking all that water. The messy hair girl wrote on a slip of paper and held it up with her hand. She reminding him not to disturb. Oh, so that was what I was writing. So she was like, understood. Are we being listened to? Is she reminding him not to disturb other people's sleep? I feel like you could whisper. Maybe. Feeling embarrassed, the young man decides to get on with it and move towards the restroom. At this moment, no one is waiting in the queue, so Walt is quickly able to address his particular physiological need. I'm sorry for the yawning. I'm not like this isn't. In fact, it is actually very interesting. I'm enjoying this a lot. Just recording this a little bit later, a little bit tired, and I have to get this recorded so I can get this up soon. Is this a choice? Am I getting a choice here? Holy wait! I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready for a choice here. Maybe I should continue sleeping to get rid of this jet lag. Why isn't Ainz taking a break? Why isn't Ainz taking a break? I'm taking a break? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Will decides to hand her back a note. I'm just reading something quite interesting. Yeah, me too. Honkai visual novel. Is it written on the note? It is written on the note and passed back to him. So while I'm writing back and forth, how much paper do we have? The temperature in the cabin becomes a little cold, and the young man can't decide whether he should put on a coat. Naturally, Twin Tails is still sleeping blissfully between the two of them. What is it? Riemann conjecture. Math problem? All non-trivial zeros of the antitelic continuation are on the line half plus ti. And then there's quite behind my webcam here is quite the quantum math problem. I wouldn't even begin to know how to stop that. Yeah, absolutely no idea. Not surprising, and people who lack knowledge of complex functions will find it hard to understand. You only need to know that it can be considered the holy grail of the entire mathematical community. Holy grail? For example, if it holds true from the generalized Riemann conjecture, Goldbach's conjecture can be easily proven. Do you know what Goldbach's conjecture is? No, I don't. Any odd numbers greater than 5 can be expressed as the sum of 3 prime numbers. Any even number greater than 2 can be expressed as the sum of 2 prime numbers. All in all, sounds impressive. Do you want to solve these conjectures? No, I don't. They are completely beyond my abilities. Moreover, my main business is not mathematics. It's just that Riemann had a great influence on me, that's all. Was he your math teacher? You could say so. He certainly didn't know me, and it was possible for him to know that my general theory of relativity was based on his Riemannian manifolds. After all, he was a historical figure from more than 100 years ago. He was dead by the time my grandpa was born. I just got my theory of relativity as like, is she taking credit? Oh wait, that's Einstein's theory rather. So, is that like is Einstein like Einstein in like the universe, in the Honkai universe? Like, I thought we were just going with similar names, but are we actually like the scientist is? Takes the young man a while to digest the general meaning of that statement. He decides to ask questions that may be a little easier for her to explain. If only so that he can continue following the conversation. Especially while a certain Twin Tails remains asleep. General relativity? In In simple terms, it is a theory that universal gravitation is equivalent to the distortion of time and space. Is there a metaphor or image I can imagine? You must have seen a whirlpool before. Imagine a wooden ball falling into the whirlpool. Does it look like it is sucked into the hole or in the center? Yes. Do you mean that gravity is also a delusion like this? That's right. We know that for the wooden ball, the twisting water surface is the direct cause of its spiral motion. The same is true for a planet. And any object will rely on its own mass to distort the space and time they are in, forming a vortex that attracts other objects. Gravity is just a manifestation of this distortion. Imagine that the surface of the Earth is full of such ripples and our plane is surfing on it. This feels like some kind of philosophy. Physical theory without mathematical notion is philosophy. That's why Sir Newton's masterpiece is called the Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy. I haven't read that book. Is this still notes? Like, how much paper do we have? Are we, like, typing on something? They're gonna just find, like, a pile of notes. Like, what happened? Well, you won't find it easy to understand. The mathematical notion of that era is itself indecipherable from most modern readers. Indecipherable. Speaking of which, what was the weird text in Schrodinger's letter that I couldn't understand? The name of an information processing device from a much smaller number, 50,000 years ago. The content of this sentence is so unexpected that Walt remains perplexed for a while. What? The other party simply draws a line silently under the words information processing device. So what is an information processing device? Imagine a librarian made of machinery, or a library with automats as its administrators. Automatic machinery? 50,000 years ago? From your perspective, just treat it as a cliffhanger, a taste of things to come. Smiley face. Bruh, please tell me now. Too much trouble. Well, too much trouble. We've been writing the things, bruh. This isn't Netflix. Please. Someone will tell you in due course. Someone whom I reckon will not be afraid of this inconvenience, so please spare me the trouble. It's the rage-baiting smiley face. Wow, eyes are so mean. Yeah, we give out the frowny face. Of course I am. P.S. Now that I think of it, I find your tone pathetic. What tone? The young man had no choice but to stick out his tongue. The girl responds in kind. While doing so, she also takes the note back from him. So it was a note. Was it like a notebook? I'm confused about that. How much paper was used? Let's use this Let's use this opportunity to attend math class. I should have picked sleep. If we have to go through math class, I was sure to pick sleep. Are you serious? Of course. Do you know how to prove E to the power of... I don't even know how to say that. Pi I in parentheses plus 1 equals 0? I was not the biggest mathematician in my day. I mean, I got decent grades in math, but that was about it. I did nothing advanced at all. So I've been checked out of math for years now. How could I know? Oh, should we start with the fundamental theorem of calculus? No, since I need to teach you, maybe it's better to start by learning kind cuts. At this point, I think we're better off just starting from the very basics with set theory. Can I choose to sleep? Okay, then I can read more books by myself. That was her plan all along. Oh, look at that. That was her plan. And as she passes the note, the girl sticks out her tongue with an even more innocent expression. It is as if she is saying, "Want to chat with me? You're 100 years behind." Why can't we just talk about something else? How about how's the weather? You know, man, I have to be like, oh, you want to talk with me? Quantum physics. New York International Airport. First layover, just due to the flight spanning 5 time zones, Walt can see the afterglow of setting sun here, even though it has been 10 hours since lunch. 10 hours. Okay, I get what I'm saying, but yeah, the Honkai characters decently close to me right now. All men in black. It looks like there's a woman in black too. Looks like it. Is that Saber? Dr. Einstein, Dr. Tesla. 2 strangers suddenly interrupt Walt's reverie. Excuse me, who might you two be? The Finn stands vigorously in front of the 2 ladies. Dr. Einstein, we should have met before. This middle-aged man has a deep voice. Walt feels as though he too has heard his voice before. What can I do for you? The mop-haired girl responds emotionlessly, as if they had never been acquainted. The old man hopes this will be of help to you. The middle-aged man takes a scroll case from his leather briefcase and hands it to Finn. You are an expert in ancient manuscripts, right? For the time being. Then you should recognize this. The Finn opens the wooden box dubiously and pulls out a tattered piece of parchment that appears to have been recently restored. Aromatic Judgment Day, Sacrifice, Song. This verse, could this be the Dead Sea Scrolls? Indeed, you recognize it. Not bad. This is part of the scroll that has never been released publicly. Oh, I hope that the secrets within will be useful to your research. So, the Overseer, what exactly does he need us to do? Nothing. The old man just hopes to give Lab 42 a hand in their research. That is all. In other words, he has high expectations for our research this time, yes? Of course. He looks forward to reading your thesis. Okay, I understand. The point of our activities here is to not let the North American branch monopolize the results, right? To muster people and mobilize resources for such a trivial reason, relations between the European and North American branches must be quite sour indeed. Yes. Here's a souvenir. Please kindly accept. So are these people waiting here? I thought we were supposed to get to Montana. And we're going to Chicago first. The middle-aged man no longer pays any attention to Tesla, but instead takes out a box of luxurious-looking chocolate from his leather briefcase and hands it to Einstein. Well, see you next time. That man liked to talk around the point, but I could tell that they still have the same old authoritarian streak. After all, the tail cannot be allowed to wag the dog, and the tree trunk must remain strong while its branches remain light. Now that a new branch finally prospers, they have come to fear it, and so they turn against it faster than turning the pages of a book. Anyone want to try the chocolates? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm trusting that. Einstein remains committal in her non-committal. Einstein remains non-committal in her non-responsive and silently peels away the wrapping paper from a piece of chocolate. Okay, so she's trusting it. Hey, I'm speaking to you, mophead. Just a box of chocolate is enough to win you over. If I don't eat it, Mr. Coca Farmer will be upset. Are you even listening to me? Oh. New chapter! It's been a little... This would normally be a stopping point-ish, but it's been a little long since I've been this, and I think there's a bit more to this, so I'm gonna keep going, at least for a little bit longer. But very interesting so far, because we're now in America. We're now in America with the flight. I don't know if we're gonna get back on a flight. I think this is just like a layover. Yeah, interesting. They gave us some with the Dead Sea Scrolls and researching for the branch, like to compete with like a North American branch, and I don't know. Interesting. Oh yeah, a gift shop. Where are we? So how did the situation end up like this? Will takes a furious sip of cola while whirling, watching the Finn, who is carrying shopping bags of all shapes and sizes. The girls have gone to a lingerie store, and the young man had no choice but to pull away with the only other male and make small talk outside. Yes, the other man who was about to follow the girls and swagger inside the store himself. Does shopping really ever need a reason? We're shopping now? I mean, I guess, but that's just more luggage. I could potentially get lost. Unperturbed, the short-sleeved man spreads out both hands in his fruitless gesture. Not to mention the duty-free... thank you. Not to mention the duty-free stores here are indeed cheaper than in London. Duty-free? Like no bathrooms. This guy is really good at carrying bags, even with his ridiculous posture. Still, they do not fall to the ground. Can it be that he had frequently played such a role in the past? Isn't his wife some archaeologist who is often away from home? Women are indeed such terrifying creatures. So is this the reason that Dr. Tesla lives paycheck to paycheck? Translator's note. The original Chinese describes Tesla as a member of a moonlight clan, someone who spends their entire income every month. Every month. It has a different meaning from the English term moonlighter. The Chinese version of this note simply explained the term using the English phrase living from paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so there's this something with there's a Chinese clan thing that like spends their entire income every month. I guess they just don't save, and that's just not. They translate that to living paycheck to paycheck. You're half right. To be honest, she has also been indulging in mail shopping recently, and I've heard she bought many useless things. It must really be hard for Dr. Tesla to deal with her. Dr. Einstein to deal with her. What in the world? Haha, you've got completely wrong. Huh? Don't you think that things are more fun and interesting in life precisely because of people like Tesla? Don't look down on the girls. If you're too rigid, you may never find your other half in the future, eh? Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Ho, cold and gloomy on the outside, hot and spicy on the inside. How quaint. If you wish to be even more somber, perhaps in the future you can follow in the footsteps of Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart, December 25th, 1899 to January 14th, 1957, was an American film actor who remained legendary in the film industry for decades after his death. He was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor for outstanding performances as Casablanca in 1942. This movie is still considered to be an eternal classic to this day, and his role as Rick Blaine has been idolized by Americans. In 1999, the American Film Institute named him the greatest actor in 100 years since the birth of film. Interesting. Humphrey Bogart. I don't think I've heard of him, surprisingly. Man, I don't know. I'm either being very stupid, or they're just digging in the bag of information. But this one I'm a little disappointed because I actually did learn some backstory and history of film and stuff. Out of 1957, so 1942, the movie cast. I don't believe I've heard of that, but I had like a class once that I watched old stuff like silent films and stuff, but we never learned about that. I mean, like Rick Blaine in Casablanca. You haven't seen the film, have you? Perhaps next time we're back at Lab 42, I'll show it to you. Let me... It comes right up. Shoot, wait a minute. Did I see this? Hold on. You know what? I was gonna look this up on my phone, and I thought, hey, this is what I do. I react to things. So I went to the Casablanca. We're gonna react this together. I was kind of looking up. It was almost seeming familiar. Man, this doesn't want to play. I had the same problem on my phone. It wasn't playing. Are you trying to keep me from the truth?
Plane to Lisbon. Would like to be on it.
Why? What's in Lisbon?
Good clipper to America.
You know what this is? Something that even you have never seen.
Round up the usual suspects.
And search them for stolen documents.
May you see your papers?
Do something,
Okay,
you must
no.
help him.
I'll stick my neck out for nobody.
There is a man arrived in Casablanca on his way to America. Victor Laszlo.
Laszlo. The Nazis have been chasing him all over Europe.
Yeah, okay, I
Laszlo
haven't.
must never reach America.
I haven't seen. It was a similar vibe of a
I'm a
movie.
saloon keeper. The problems of the world are not in my department. Why did you come back? To tell me why you ran out on me at the railway station?
If you only knew the truth,
I wouldn't believe you no matter what you told me.
you are our last hope. If you don't help us, Victor Laszlo will die.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
In Casablanca, human life is cheap.
Play it once, Sam. Play as time goes by.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss.
It was some. So this is the movie. 4K. So this is the movie. Shout out Honkai for bringing us here. That's the movie in question. I mean, I'd be down to watch that. You know, like Lab 42. Look, basically, a good man should have a clear idea of his strengths. Mr. Goldrim Glasses gestures with an okay sign and rounds off the topic before getting another word. I do have something I've been concerned about for a while now. Well, tries to dispel his negative impression of the Finn and begins to steer the subject of conversation to one of his own liking. Oh, is it about the organization, or is it about something we're going to investigate? It seems he won't refuse any topic. I do care about those two issues, but what I wish to ask you is neither of those things. You wish to pose a question specifically to me. The look of Mr. Goldrim Glasses betrays a hint of surprise. He seems to waver ever so slightly. It's just that no need to dilly-dally about it. Neither doctor has a boyfriend yet. Okay? Nobody asked you that. Since you're saying absolutely nothing, all I could do is guess blindly. Mr. Goldrim Glasses shrugs his shoulders in an exaggerated manner. Age? Body measurements? Preferred taste and fashion? Inside and out? Hey! Mr. Goldrim Glasses lets out a suggestive laugh. I think it's best to wait for them to give you the answers themselves, yeah? Just let him ask the question. Hey! Please don't show me that expression. I'm not poking fun at you on purpose. I simply don't know the answers myself. But you see, with such private and personal details, if by any chance you ask them without thinking it through, Finn makes a beheading gesture while keeping his grip on the paper bags. You're nuts. You don't say. But when I met my future wife for the first time, I stupidly asked her a question. Isn't it a bit silly for you to still be wearing bloomers at your age? And then I was beat into a pulp. That was quite an intense and healthy beating, I tell ya. So is that, again, a hint there? Is it, well, Joyce and Tesla, maybe? Are they gonna... Because he keeps getting beat by her. I know, I said the other Welt and Einstein, I'm pretty sure they end up together. Is that... I get like, one gets one Welt and the other one gets the other. I was gonna say, I guess that wouldn't be weird. I thought that would be for a second. I guess how it happened. I guess not. I don't know. Interesting though. No one else is responsible for your own madness but yourself. But to be honest, if someday you meet a 30-year-old girl who still enjoys wearing bloomers, don't give up on this opportunity of a lifetime. Doesn't he have a question? And this guy just keeps yapping. Like, Paul, let him speak. I mean, if she happens to be a Finn, especially one who likes Leva and Polka, you can even Polka is a famous folk song in Finland that describes the theme of a young man and woman breaking away with feudal tradition and courageously pursuing love. A well-known adaptation of the song is Leak Song, sung by Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku mentioned in Honkai. I think I know of that. Maybe. That's crazy. He invited to the sauna. By the way, my full name is Ellis. No way I'm pronouncing that right. Nokan Vertanen. An authentic Finn. Yes. So we got his full name though. Traditionally, everyone in a sauna room has to be completely frank and open with each other. You get what I mean? Why do I feel like you're desperately promoting saunas to me just now? Oh, I thought since it's a question you wanted to ask me specifically, it must be related to something I'm very familiar with. How about you stop speculating and just shh and let him talk? I was on my mind, like I thought we were bypassing the question, but this is still going. Give me a break. I barely know or want to know anything about this sauna business of yours. Oh, isn't it the only culture export from my beloved Finland that has gained worldwide? Sauna is the quintessence of Finnish national culture. It is estimated that there are about 2 million saunas in Finland. On average, every 3 Finns own one. That's kind of crazy. I think it'd be oversaturated. P.S. In ancient times, signs were gender neutral. Interesting P.S. Worldwide popularity. Well, the questions I wanted to ask have nothing to do with Finland. Just ask the questions before you can interrupt more, bro. As a result, when the two doctors finally emerged from the lingerie store, Walt still had not yet inquired about any of their personal hobbies or habits. Okay, not that. Yeah, you had 10 minutes and it wasted it. I guess we'll never know what the questions were. When the group finally boarded the flight to Chicago, Einstein had already changed into a set of newly purchased clothes. See, new drip for the flight. I like the drip. I like it looks nice. Chicago is a place I've been to. So I've been to New York as well. Not the New York City actually, but New York State. I think they were just in the airport though. So I don't know. I haven't been to the airports no, but Honkai people being where I am, in a way. I keep saying that, but that's kind of, I don't know. I'm so these always take place in like not America, so it's kind of cool. For a furred shawl coat resembling a ferret, and an overflowing dress layered tier upon tier resembling a cream cake. It is said to be a Victorian era debutante dress. They sell those at the airport? Where were they actually? Did they leave the airport? Maybe they left the airport. I don't know. I was under the impression they were they just like were staying there because it was a layover type of thing, but maybe they left. I don't know. It is difficult to describe, but the dress worn on her body gives off a strange and incongruous vibe, especially given that she is now sleeping reclined on a seat with that book about Raman plastered upside down on her face. Needless to say, this could have only been the result of Tesla's personal fashion sense. Also needless to say, this could have only been the result of Tesla's own wallet. And finally, it goes without saying that people like Tesla could never be caught reading professional or technical literature on an airplane. Let's play cards! Hey, that's nice! I'm gonna play cards! What are we playing? Go Fish? Solitaire? Fashionable red-haired twin-tails announces why doesn't she wear that doll-like dress herself? 3 people is a bit awkward though. Only have 4? It seems that the Finn has already started to seriously weigh up their options. 3 missing 1. Mr. Gold Rim Glasses is definitely the type who likes to play bridge. Nothing awkward at all, since we're already in America. How can we not play Texas Hold'em? Ah, Texas Hold'em poker. But do we have enough loose change? Oh, we're getting real money? We're gambling? I guess we're in the air. We care, depending on the state. I think that's depending on what's illegal or not. Stop speaking nonsense, Finn. Don't we have this? Red-haired twin-tails howls loudly with ill regard for the other passengers and pulls out the box of chocolates from Einstein's bag. Pulling chocolate balls and coins together as gambling chips. You really are a child. Did you know once upon a time chocolate was considered as precious as gold? That where the chocolate gold things came from, like the chocolate coins? As early as the time of Aztec Empire, coca beans had been had already become important strategic resources being used as currency. Oh. Edible money would be crazy. Like, do you eat it? Do you sell it? Not that... actually, can you just eat the cocoa beans? Or does it have to be, like, made? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. And after the landings at Normandy, the chocolate ration to the U.S. soldiers became something of a hard currency on the Western Front. Everything you could imagine could be bought with chocolate. But a lot of stuff to get thinking to Honkai. You know, we got history stuff. We got thinking you can eat the cocoa bean. Like, I've got the math. Like, bro, I'm learning more than I did in school in this. Playing this. I'm kidding. Modern chocolate is produced by some kind of special crystallization technology which can preserve its hardness and taste at the same time. That is why chocolate, once melted, will taste worse when it is refrozen. It fundamentally changes everything at the molecular level. Interesting. Well, I guess that would be too. I think that, you know, I've had like chocolate bars that like melt. In fact, I've had chocolate bars that I tried specifically from Canada, and when it was hot there. It's like a summer vacation. I got back to the place I was staying, and they were kind of melted. I put them in the freezer, and they tasted good, but it was a little like, you know, now I'm thinking about it, like, did they taste off? Would they have tasted better if I didn't wait? Or if they didn't melt? If I had to reform them, they were like soup. They were like mushy. Interesting. Anyway, we should be thankful for today's industrial civilization for making it possible for us to follow our heart's desires, eat as heartily as we please. Amen. Excuse me. Yes, assistant. Well, what is your question? You have permission to ask. This Texas Hold'em you mentioned, I don't know how to play it. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't either. I've never gone into poker. I've had a few people try. I still really do the style. No, I never got into it. What's the matter? It's not that hard. You'll catch on as you play. Gosh, have you never heard of fake it till you make it? Hey, if we're gambling, I don't want to just fake it. Hey, how can you give such a long-winded explanation of the words of the chocolate? Yet when it comes to, Walt mumbles at a volume only he himself can hear. When it comes to, it's hard. What? Do you harbor some dissatisfaction with me, doctor? No, I went there. It's not real gambling after all. Even if it were a real gamble, I would have nothing to lose anyway. As he reaches this line of thought, Walt decides to harden his resolve and bite the bullet. And did we just play? Fold. Oh, fold. Wait! Tessa fiercely snatches the two cards from the top of the discarded pile and forcibly shoves them back into Welt's hand. No fold. No fold. I get no why? No particular reason. Just no consecutive folds. But how can you be so tight with a beginner's hand? you're only playing when you see a face card or a pair. Otherwise, you just pass. Low-key, I think that's what I was I would fold a lot when I played like this online poker thing with a friend before. Like your brain dead. How is that any fun at all? Sometimes you gotta play safe. I don't know what I'm doing. Assistant, well, do you know what the biggest problem with gambling is? People get addicted and don't know how to stop. Losing money? Well, looks at the empty spot that is depleted earnings of the young doctor. No, for people like you, it's caring too much about your winnings and losings, all sense of fun with the game itself. Look at you, always so conservative, always hesitating, always cowering, always stuttering. Are you even a man? God does not play dice. A familiar inorganic voice transmits from beneath the Riemann book. It seems that Tesla's loud voice has finally stirred Einstein from her dreams. You're awake? Skyrim? Oh, you're awake! Even without looking at Tesla, Walt can still feel the blush on her face. Don't worry. The upside down Riemann is casually tossed to the corner. I will join as well. Chocolate. The girl whose hair looks even more messy than before ignores the other's astonishment and reaches out with her hand. Twintail snatches several gambling chips from the two gentlemen and hands them to her. Just then, didn't you say God does not play dice or something? Well, you are indeed correct. The girl quickly strips off the wrapping paper from one piece of chocolate. God does not play dice, but God does eat chocolate. By the time the airport finally landed in Billings, Montana, the sun had already set for a while. And I do believe that is where I'm going to stop here. That seems like a good stopping point. Little extra time, I guess not crazy extra time, not really, but they are landing in Billings, which Billings, Montana. This is where they need to be. So we're gonna we had pretty much, this was a traveling episode. And honestly, I kind of liked it. You know, it was kind of weird. Like, Elmo, it felt like we were along for the journey. I felt like we went on like a travel thing as well. You know, I mean, not like actually, because we didn't get on like the planes or like the cars, but you know, we were on a nice little trip till we got here. Where like they were playing the cards and stuff, and some nice I guess character moments between everybody. And something that I didn't really say yet, but now I'm kind of realizing it. Something that I like about this is getting more character for Einstein and Tesla. They are people that I have noticed in the Honkai Impact 3rd game before. From the little bit I've played so far, and like just from lore stuff as well. Of course, Walt Joyce as well. But you know, I don't think I heard much about him other than it was like during backstory for Walt Yang. But mainly Einstein and Tesla. Good to get there's some like backstory, more character stuff for them. And then the Finn, he's new. Like, he's completely new. Even when they said he's like really like Ellis or something, completely new. So, yeah, that's cool though. That's nice. Man, next time, hopefully it will be sooner than 2 or 3 weeks, however long I took for between the last part. I apologize. But But yeah, hopefully we get this more into a groove, a nice groove. I felt like I have kind of fallen out of the Honkai groove. Yeah, I'm still posting videos, it's just I'm kind of getting choppy with the uploads. I want to get back into stabilizing the Honkai consistency. So once again, sorry about that. And hopefully you did enjoy this. We will be back with this. We will be back with it. And of course, more Honkai stuff as well. For now, though, that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. You know, it's always up to you. And I will see you guys in the next video. You're watching me. Goodbye.